What's up, Fit Fam? Coach Ryan from Team Flex here. We are reviewing the Arnold Classic UK, and we're talking about wellness today. We're going to get into the criteria. We're going to talk about the placings, why they happened the way they did, who won, who got second, what's the difference, and what does it mean for you as a wellness competitor at any level, whether you're in the NPC or the IFBB. I'm going to give you tools, tips, strategies, stuff you can take with you to do better at your own competitions, and that's in fact what I do on this channel and what I do with all my videos. So please, if you got a second, subscribe it and pay attention, because I got a lot of great things for you. I do this for free as a give back to my community, my people, all you out there, and I want you to get the benefit from it so you can be your best competitor on stage. All right, that's what we do, and this is important to me to put this stuff out there for you guys. So I really appreciate the subscribes and even a share. If you got a minute to help Coach Rye out, just give me a share. And again, it's not to help me monetarily, anything like that. I'm not making money on this. It's to really just support the fact that you know, the more that people know, the more people are going to compete, and the more fun that all this can be, and the more great that we can make this sport, and that's what's important to me. All right, you guys, so let's get into the Arnold Classic UK Wellness right here, and we're going to talk about our top two, which is Leonida right here. She's our winner, and then we got Juliana over here to the other side, and we're going to kind of look at these routines a little bit side by side, and I'm just going to break things down for you and kind of dig a little deep for you. All right, so let's do this. So first things first, right at the gate, what you will notice watching these athletes walk out, right, is boom, let's play it again. Watching these athletes walk out, okay, Juliana's a little bit more conditioned than Leonida, okay, and that's a blatant thing that, you know, really can be seen, and it's interesting to note just how different that makes the physique look, right? Conditioning is so important for you out there. All you competitors out there, you got to know conditioning is something you have to bring, but you have to bring the right conditioning. It's not just get lean, get lean, get lean. It's really about finding what level of conditioning looks best on your physique, and that's different actually for everybody. All these coaches out there saying it's 13%, it's 12%. No, it's none of that. You guys don't do that. It's really much more about your individuality, your muscle structure, how things look. Conditioning is gonna, you know, factor in differently, and you got to really make your wellness look your look, okay? But let's look at Juliana. So she comes out and she hits this front pose, and right out the gate, one of the things that I am blatantly seeing that I think actually hurt her, which is kind of funny to say, is how dominant her quads are, okay? We talk about wellness all the time, and we always talk about lower body dominance, but we're talking about lower body dominance upper to lower. So this means, you know, the upper and lower body in that sense has to be, you know, this dominant force, this dominant factor where we're focused on primarily getting in the spot here that the upper body looks disproportionately smaller, less developed than the lower body. However, even in that sense, you still want to be in the lower body, you know, shaping to match your muscle groups, okay? And so what that means, you guys, is you got to have the quads and the hamstrings and then the glutes and everything kind of shape up together. If you have over dominance in any of those muscle groups, it's going to be blatantly obvious in wellness, and that actually is something that can take you a score down for sure. So I think, you know, Juliana, she comes out with that. I think that was a factor for her. Most definitely a little bit dominant in the quads, and we'll see more as we go. Now, if we look at our winner here, Leonida, over on the other side, she didn't even come out and hit that kind of classic, you know, wellness front post. She really came out and gave us a little bit of quarter turns, a little bit of size there, and went straight to back post. So we'll look at that here in a second. But right out the gate, I can tell you, okay, conditioning came really, really on point for her. This is like a really good conditioning look, because we got the soft line between the glute and then the hamstring and the quads and up into the shoulders, up into the tricep. Everything here is really good conditioning for wellness. Like, I highly doubt she got any feedback on that conditioning. I bet you that she was told this is on point, this is exactly what we want to see. Where Juliana, I would bet you her feedback is going to be a little bit too lean, okay, and that does make a difference. So Leonida came out and she hit that pose. You can tell already we got fullness to the glute, we got the quads and the hamstrings, all with that better ratio, that better symmetry that I was talking about. Juliana kind of over dominant in the quads, I think, and Leonida came in really balanced in the lower body, which is important, all right, all you wellness competitors out there. It's not just about sheer size, it's also about proportion and shape, and you'll learn that more and more as you continue to advance. So interestingly enough, Leonida, even though, you know, Juliana comes out and she hits that front pose, she does all this, she still has yet to get to back pose. Leonida already is in back pose in her routine, right? And I'm playing these side by side, exactly how they happen. So it's pretty interesting to see one of those things where she's hitting her poses faster. She's coming out, she's not even really getting a solid front pose, like in the sense that you have to hit that wellness front pose, but, you know, you can actually do the more quarter turn style front pose that she did, and then she's riding it back, okay? And this is a strategy that competitors can use, actually, and I wonder if she's doing it here. I don't think we'll ever find out, but it is a strategy to go out and really show judges your strong points and not let them have a lot of time to look, right, for the areas that could be off, the weak points, in other words, right? You get out there and you really get to see, boom, here I am, check out these quads, check out these glutes, check out these shoulders, and now pull me back out if you want to see more, right? I want to, you know, be on stage more, compare me, let's win the show kind of thing, right? And this is especially effective for NPC athletes to do this, where you really want to cater your posing to making sure that you're showing all of your strongest points and you're kind of hiding any weak points you might have. And everybody has them, okay? Everybody's got those areas that judges are looking for. When you come out, they're scoring you based on not what's great, but what is wrong. That's what they're looking for, okay? So she's already in her back pose here. Really cool to see that she comes out and kind of hits those two poses. Boom, there it is. All right, so back pose, very, very, very much a solid wellness look. Like it could be moving up call outs, you know, in this division quickly if she continues to work on this look and continue to advance this look. And obviously Arnold UK win is very, very big for her anyway, but I'm talking about Olympia going up in those ranks potentially as things go. So if we look at this back pose, again, everything screams wellness here. We got the shoulders, you know, you still need to have a little bit of size to those, but really lower body's what takes the cake here. It's that dominant lower body look the judges are all about. They want to see in this division. It is the #1 key, and we're going to see it there. We're going to see it into her glutes. We're going to see it in the quads and the hamstrings. So glutes, very dominant upper glute, important, okay? Judges sit below you. Everybody competing. Judges are not facing you straight on. They're looking up, so you got to have upper glute, or your glutes just look flat. That's what will happen to you. It's not good. She's also got great depth to the glutes. This is from development, right? This tie-in that you see, this kind of like, oh, this is full shape, full separation. That's from development. The three-dimensional effect of like very developed glutes, coupled with perfect conditioning for wellness, honestly, is what's going to show that the most. And then, you know, again, like I said, in her front, her quads are sweeping from the back, which we want to see in wellness, but it's all in really good symmetry. Her glutes, her quads, her hamstrings, it all matches. It all makes sense. It's all really, really good. Look for wellness. Now let's look over at Juliana, okay? So she hits her front pose again. Let's move over there, blah, 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 and here's her back, okay? So very, very, again, blatant difference in this conditioning, and I think you guys can see that. And actually Leonida ended up hitting a back pose at the same time here, so this is kind of a nice comparison to see. If you look though, Juliana, you know, again, has all the markers of a wellness athlete still. Dominant lower body, everything there, over dominant compared to the upper body, but the quads are so freaking dominant in this pose. It's definitely kind of what threw her out in a sense, because, you know, the glutes almost look like they need more work in this spot, which is kind of crazy because they're definitely developed. And it's really just this kind of asymmetry between the quads where she's got too much of that quad going on, and that's a huge factor. It's a huge effect for, you know, making her lower body look a little bit off. And, you know, it's just not the same symmetry that we're going to see over here in Leonida, which makes a big difference on stage. And this is relevant stuff for all of you. Even if your first competition's coming up, you want to really balance your lower body muscle structure and make sure you have that, okay? Also for her, this is where we can see again, you know, looks a little bit too lean, looks a little bit too hard. And judges do not want that in this division. Wellness division is not about these hard lines, these deep cuts, these striations. Like I can see, you know, striation separation in her hams and quads here even. It's not, you know, what judges are looking for in this division. So not super ideal, not really what judges want to see. So a little bit, you know, too much conditioning, kind of put her down. So we look at these two routines here going side by side. And again, you know, it's just all screaming the same stuff. that's really what the difference was, I think, here. You guys, all of you wondering, there's Leonida, by the way, hitting that front pose, okay? So remember, we talked about Juliana's front pose, and the symmetry was off. This is where the difference is. This is a very, very symmetrical, nice wellness look. You get the shoulders up top, you get the waist taper, everything's good there. We get the glute shape, we got the quad shape, we got all of that tying together, but in a way that it's not over dominant. It doesn't look too, you know, too dominant in any capacity. It's all showing the way it should. And then there's Juliana's pose again, okay? So again, just over dominant for her, and I think that would probably be her feedback to work on her muscle structure a little bit more, you know, lower body, get a little bit more of that shape going, and then also take that conditioning down just a tad to the point where it's a little bit softer, actually, right? Because again, this division is not about full shreds, and I know every time I say that, there's always people that comment, they're like, oh, you're wrong, it's so lean. Yes, in the scope of like an average everyday woman, sure, it is very lean, but in the scope of bodybuilding, when we're talking about bikini, wellness, figure, women's physique, women's bodybuilding, it is not. It is at the bottom tier of conditioning, right? Like, figure is much leaner than wellness, so is women's physique, and women's bodybuilding is much, much leaner. So what the judges want to see here are those soft lines, those separations, but not striations, no deep cuts, things like that. And that is definitely probably the biggest factor on this stage and what the difference was. And then I think some muscle shaping stuff too. But you know, really great athletes, both these athletes here, setting a great example. Keep in mind, this is our top two. So even then, still great representations of the criteria and wellness. And hopefully I gave you guys some tips, some ideas, things you can take to your training, things you can take to your physique. And remember, I'm not telling you on this channel you got to look like these athletes to compete. I want you to watch these videos and get an idea of, okay, where's the criteria heading? What do I need to kind of fit in? And then create your own physique and your own look within this criteria. I think that's so important because, again, you know, it's not about trying to look like someone else. It's about maximizing your potential, maximizing where you're at, and pushing yourself to that level. So that's the Arnold Classic review there, you guys. Let me know what you thought. Do you agree with the placings? Do you think Leonida should have won? Do you think Juliana should have won? Let me know in the comments. And let me know what you guys want to see more of on this channel. I'm going to keep pumping videos. I finally got more of a setup going here. Hopefully this sticks around, and we're going to be doing a lot of content. So make sure you're subscribed, okay? Thank you guys for watching. Coach Rye is out.